Everyone tried to say, oh, no, Indiana's a red state. They're never going to ask Joe Biden for money to expand red flag laws. But after Todd Young betrayed us, that's exactly what happened. The first check from Joe Biden to expand red flag laws, yeah, we just got it here in Indiana. Guys, watch this video and join the fight. Hey guys, Aaron Dorr here with the Indiana Firearms Coalition. Ever since Todd Young stabbed gun owners in the back last year when he voted alongside of Chuck Schumer and Dianne Feinstein for S-2938, which gave Joe Biden $750 million to use in bribing states into passing red flag gun seizures, we warned everybody that money would find its way right back here into Indiana. We weren't 100% sure how or when or how much, but we told everybody that even though this is a red state, our state government will not be able to resist the urge to reach their hand out and grab that free money from Joe Biden to expand red flag laws here in Indiana. Guys, I wish I was wrong. We just found out recently that we were correct. The first check has been sent to the state of Indiana for $5.1 million. Guys, if you're pressed for time today, whatever else you do, hit the link below or above this broadcast and make sure you tell your state senator and your state rep they had better vote no on any attempt to expand red flag laws here in Indiana. If you've got time for more details, we've got more details, and it's going to make your blood boil. First is the money. How much? Well, to begin with, the exact dollar amount that we received here in Indiana is $5,116,765. The way we received it was we asked for it. Indiana approached the government through the BYRNE State Crisis Intervention Program. You can Google that for yourself. It's BYRNE. Look it up. The BYRNE State Crisis Intervention Program, and we asked for that money. Now, other red states asked for that money as well, but they said in their application that we do not have red flag laws here. We will not have red flag laws here. And so if the requirement to receive this money is to enforce red flag laws, don't give it to us. But of course, we didn't say that here in Indiana. As you guys know, we already have red flag gun seizures on the books. Shamefully, one of just 2 states that have that law in place. But this program would give money to our state government for expanding red flag laws as well. And that's Biden's goal with this money in the first place. It's a down payment. He wants to get us hooked on that free money and then hope that we'll come back and say, you know what, we'll expand our red flag laws much further in exchange for 10 million, 20 million, whatever the case may be. There's hundreds of millions of dollars in this fund. Again, thanks to Todd Young, who made this all possible last summer. Now, again, for those who might not know, a brief summary on what a red flag law is, and I'm going to go at the national level. There's a little bit of a nuance on our red flag law, but in general, a red flag law allows almost anybody who doesn't like you, it could be an ex-spouse, could be a liberal neighbor, it could be an aunt you haven't seen for 30 years who lives across the country, whatever, to call the authorities and say, I think that fill in the blank, my ex-spouse, my neighbor, my nephew, whatever is dangerous. He doesn't like Joe Biden. He mocks him and posts crap on Facebook every day, and he has a bunch of guns. Well, that describes half of the people I know in this country. But when they make that complaint and that goes before a liberal judge, and let's be honest, there are no conservative judges left except for a handful on the Supreme Court, and thank God for that. When it goes before the liberal judge, they're going to hold a hearing. And that hearing is done ex parte. That means in your absence. So while you're at work, somebody else is trying to argue before a liberal judge to order the seizure of your firearms. And that's why the liberals love this so much, because this is not about grabbing one kind of gun like an AR-15. It's not about an accessory, a pistol brace, magazine, anything else. If you're red flagged, every gun you own and every round of ammo in your possession is seized by the government by force before you've ever been convicted of a crime. You see, it's gun control by bureaucratic process without having to worry about getting convicted in court first. And it's disgusting stuff. Now, you might say to yourself, well, I mean, we already have red flag laws. Are we really going to expand even further? Well, the answer is, of course. The rhinos are desperately trying to do that right now, just last session here in Indy. Senator Jack Sandlin had the bill, I believe, I'm not sure about this, I believe it was S-295. I could be wrong, but it was Jack Sandlin who had the bill to radically expand red flags here in our state. One way that's going to be gotten bigger was they're going to have an increasingly large list of who could apply for or hit you with a red flag law. Other aspects of the bill would allow the government to have that many more days to actually hold the red flag hearing. So your guns would be in limbo that much longer. It was a devious bill. It died, thank God. But realize that previous iterations of rhinos right here in our state passed red flags. And that was without the benefit of a check from Joe Biden for tens of millions of dollars. So, of course, we could see it happen here again in Indiana, especially, God forbid, if we have any kind of a mass shooting in our state. And we have lawmakers in both chambers who would vote no on a red flag law, no matter what. There's a handful. But they are in the super minor minority right now in both chambers. And what would be likely to happen if this moves forward is the rhinos in both chambers would say, well, you know, we're going to try to trick gun owners. So they would say, okay, we've heard from gun owners and we agree that ex parte hearings, those are bad. So we're going to pull that out of the bill draft and we're going to pass only a good form of expanded red flag laws here in the Hoosier state. But there is no form of red flag laws that we could ever accept. And again, guys, make your voice heard. Hit the link above or below. Sign your petition and tell your lawmakers that. Because, well, ex parte hearings are disgusting. Again, don't forget, the ultimate problem with red flag laws is it violates the idea that we are innocent until proven guilty. When you are red flagged, there is no requirement to be arrested, to be charged, to be indicted, or especially convicted of a crime. You can have your guns taken away, your life upended, just because someone says you may be dangerous or you may commit a crime down the road. And the irony of this is crazy because, well, rhinos here in Indy want to expand red flag laws. After last year's Bruin decision, the courts around the country are going the opposite direction. For example, recently, the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, which is Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New Jersey, heard a case from a non-violent felon, a guy who had a felony conviction, non-violent, who said, hey, the Bruin decision says that all gun control laws need to show how they comply with the historical use of firearms in this country. And there is no historical precedent for non-violent people to be denied their gun rights. And the court heard this case. And the case revolved around a guy who had pled guilty to welfare fraud back in the 90s. He lied about his income. He got food stamps. He ended up having to plead guilty to that. He had a felony conviction for doing that, but it was nonviolent. And so the Third Circuit, in hearing this case, said, yes, the threshold post-Bruin for someone being a prohibited person must be a violent felony conviction. And we have always agreed with that standard. But in the case of expanded red flags in our legislature, we're not talking about a misdemeanor conviction or a violent felony conviction, or there's no conviction. There's no conviction required at all. Simply someone saying you might be dangerous or you might cause a problem down the road is grounds to being disarmed. So again, there is no version of red flag laws we'd ever agree with, and you must make your voice heard and tell that to your state rep and state senator immediately. Hit that link, do that, and then join the fight. Go to joinifc.com and get involved today. You know, it's a sad fact that in red America, in the heart of red America, we have red flag laws on the books right now. But the rhinos who run our state legislature are not content. They want more and more and more. We must stand up and fight back. Get involved, guys, today. Again, joinifc.com. We'll keep you guys informed and stay free.